Hey, everybody! Welcome back. Oh my goodness. Ask and you shall receive. Wow. And I have audio verified, audio and video. Whoo. Well, I had multiple known reasons to go see what was in my post box. And oh man, was that thing packed. Um, that thing was packed. The last time I opened that box, I believe it was January. Um, so, in addition to the two known reasons why I wanted to go have a look in there, I wanted to know what kind of mail fraud might be in there. And so I believe there's a stack of it. If I am comprehending this correctly, oh, it's just full of mail fraud. And then of course a beautiful surprise. I got permission to show this, but I'm for right now. I'm not. I'm not showing what my finger's on. What do you see there, folks? Huh? You see this? That's from the Post, right? I'm not sure. Maybe this red on the back towards the bottom is from the Post as well. Reddish color. I only just noticed that now. So success. But is there things that are how do I want to say this? Because this is to celebrate. This is a major victory. Victories. It's a man that owns his authority. Apparently, he's been doing this for about 5 years. He was watching Keith, YouTube channel El Piro, and a very important video from Keith. You find in the link in the description of this video about, I don't want to say prepaid anymore. So if I say pre, it's in brackets. And then I believe there's a hyphen. And then paid. Post paid. Postage paid. Maybe that's a better way for me to be communicating with y'all. And for my thought process up here between the ears, right? All right, now Joe sent this, and we had a conversation today for the first time, and I like Joe. Joe's a intelligent man. He's a man who owns his authority, and so on here on the return address side of this mailer, the bottom line says zip exempt. Now, we have to be very, very, very careful about the words we use, how we use them, and where we use them. Many of them are spelling traps that trap us because we haven't comprehended the knowledge that we need to avoid those traps. So, with regard to putting the zip code on the mailer or preparing a mailer, I want to say that what Keith did, what he shows you, what he gives you a visual of like this, all right? What he gives you a visual of like that, it's clear, you can read it, you can see it. It's as near perfect as it can be, as far as I can tell at this point in time. All right. And there's differences, significant differences between what Keith did and what Joe did. Now, one of the significant differences is Keith used a Franken. Joe used a multiplex. Key difference. And I only recently got knowledge of the Franken because of the work that Keith did. Keith, thank you, bro. All right. Thank you. And now I got this gem in my hand, right? And I'm wondering what the hell this is and who put it there. Well, I had the conversation, I learned Joe put it there. It's a multiplex. And very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. I think Joe put that there. So I'm gonna have to verify. If I got anything wrong, I'll come back and correct it. I'm sure if I got anything wrong, Joe's gonna tell me, right? So another thing, significant difference is that Joe used a 2-cent stamp. And the placement of that stamp is proper, being in the top right-hand corner of the mailer, as it would be in a contract. However, preparing a contract into quantum, I believe you're going to want to use a $1 stamp and your quantum autograph and your thumbprint on the top right-hand corner of that contract. And you're probably going to use a $1 gold back stamp at a minimum value on the back of the last page, along with your quantum autograph and your thumbprint that cancels the stamp and seals the document. Now, now that we're there, I have come to the full realization that I have more work to do on my paperwork. So I established my sovereign position, recognized through the global post, the defunct, bankrupt Universal Postal Union, the United States Post Office, United States Postal Service, which are under a cog. In the jurisdiction of the village of Kalkaska, the jurisdiction of the county of Kalkaska, the jurisdiction of the state of Michigan, the jurisdiction of Michigan State, not the state of. Well, what is the state of? Well, over here it's a little bit partly cloudy, partly sunny. Winds are moderate. Out of whatever direction they're fucking blowing. Sorry. No, I'm not. I just try and have a little sense of humor here. And so did I lose did I lose my track of thought? Yeah, but that's fine because there's so much spinning around up here. So I have a little bit more work to do. Yeah, we were at the contract, the back page, $1 gold back stamp, your autograph, your thumbprint. All right, I am going to add my RF number. I'm going to add my RF number for my registered mail, my case that establishes me as sovereign, as postmaster, as federal. All right. So now let's go back to the Franken. Remember, Keith created a Franken, and I believe registered might be the correct word, but it's facilitated with the post office or the postal service or both. It's there's a process to create that Franken. Now that this multiplex, I got to learn more about that. And your Franken, I believe, I'm not sure. I believe I'm going to look into this, but I believe I can create my own Franken, use my RF number, and if I create my Franken and use my RF number in addition to putting it on the mail, I don't know if there would be any other step that I would take or should take. So that's part of my learning curve. Um, so right now, right now, there's 4 men that are doing their due diligence on postage paid. I'm going to refrain from prepaid babble. Prepaid in quantum, I believe, means no paid. So again, we have to be so careful at this stage of now time, of devolution, continuity of government, reconstitution, war, um, and all of the satanic side of it all right, and all the blessed side, right? So all right, what else do I want to tell you about this gem in my hand here? One is I would not use black ink. Black is the dead. Black is the dead. Blue is the living man. Now, going to be some people want to tell you red. Use red. You decide. You use your authority. You use your discernment. If you want my opinion, well, my opinion is I do it with blue because I've done my due diligence on it, and I believe that that is the correct the right way to do it. So, excuse me. Blue ink is how I would do it. Red, this could cause a problem because of the idiots in the de facto corporate enslavement side of of our society. You know, they've already got a pre-planned knee-jerk response that they can go into and call in the hazmat team and you know, call in their goons and you know, just create all kind of, because they don't know the difference between red ink and blood. And you use red ink, and so they're going to come down. All right. So is that is that tinfoil hat talk or not? Again, that's for you to decide. All right. I'm not here to hold your hand and walk you through all this crap. I can't do that. I can tell you what I done. I can show you how I did it. I can explain why I did it. And lead by example. All for free. You don't have to pay for any of this information. You don't have to pay for any of the documents I put up. You don't have to pay for anything I show you on the screen, which you can freeze and screenshot. It's all cheap as free. It's up to you to own your authority. It's up to you to realize how brainwashed you are. You got Keith showing you the receipt. He gives you the college professor in-depth style explaining. He explains it really well. Well, what are you doing about it? So I was just in my rant the other day. I went out about it. No one's doing it. Ain't nobody calling me saying I did it, emailing me saying I did it, text message me saying I did it, sending it to me. That son of a bitch. There it is. Right on, Joe. You rock. Joe's a boomer. Joe's a boomer. Boom, boom, boom. So we put it in blue. Don't write tax exempt. If you want to put the zip code there, bracket it. If it's bracketed, it ain't on the page. It ain't on the page. All right. Let's see. Now, this mailer doesn't say without the United States. El Piro's return address says without the United States. Again, I think what Keith did is, if it's not perfect, it's near perfect. What Joe did here worked. It's good. It's not perfect, in my humble opinion. And it's just a couple of little tweaks to make it perfect. And it's a new learning curve for me on the Metroplex. Um, so I would also, I would say, I got to take a look at Keith's again, but I'm going to say maybe upgrade to Keith's work is to put that the name of the sender, if you're putting the name of the sender in the name of the party to which is being sent in quantum. Why not? There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. But you think about it. You think about it. You own your authority and and, and rock and roll. I'm hoping that I'm gonna I'll have a conversation with Keith. I'll catch one of his live streams and be able to jump on StreamYard and and then maybe be able to get Joe conference in and get another person in there that can everybody's bring in that situation. Everybody would have strengths of their own, and I believe it can be an awesome step forward in this postage paid quantum world. Um, is there anything else on this mailer? Well, actually, in the case of both Joe and El Piro, I think I would put on the top line of the return address side, foreign office of origin. And the only capital letter would be F. Everything else would be lowercase. What do you think? Do you think you're watching a Columbo episode? Because I keep near right then I come up with one and then another, then another. Well, this is part of it, see, and talking helps me, and since most of the time I don't have anybody to talk with, I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't have anyone talking to me. And the way these gears work in my head, we got the zippity doo dah spinning zippity doos, and then we got the real slow movers that are just kind of compiling and working out the algorithms so that the key is going to line up and you're going to turn it and boom, you got it. A couple people just popped in the chat here. Hello. I'll put my Joe. We got Joe, and I have to put my eyeballs on. Welcome. So you see, I can speak from experience when I tell you this. Sometimes, if you're the right individual, it can be much better for you to learn anything by being self-taught. Oh, no. I want to learn from the expert. I want to learn from the journeyman. I want to learn from the professor. I want to learn from the top scientist. All right. A lot of you need that. And it's probably the best you're ever going to get. But some of you have the ability to learn, teach yourself the entire trade, the entire craft yourself. And in those kind of cases, you'd be surprised what you invent, what you develop, because you weren't taught all these bad habits. Oh, well, they've been doing it this way for decades. Yeah, they've been doing it fucking wrong for fucking decades, motherfucker. And because you're a monkey and you didn't want to fucking figure shit out for yourself, you had to go get your education from another monkey. Monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. Virginia, hello. Thank you. All men were created equal, Virginia says. Rebel! Hey, my brother. Rebel says to my brother Ethan, all respect. All respect to you, Rebel. Well, if you folks missed the beginning of this, I think you're going to want to rewind when this is over, because this powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. I today it was like all day on the phone. It was like nonstop on the phone, and twice I said, in two different conversations, I said, as an influencer, I feel very alone. And the other party in both cases, paraphrased, said, you are. I mean, look, Keith put some really good stuff on how to own your authority. Josh Eddy put together a YouTube channel. He's got a radio channel that he's had. He's owned his authority with the Americans Notice of Liability. If you're not up to speed on Josh Eddy, it's up to you to take the time. I mean, I've done it. You can watch my old videos. You can watch his videos. You can watch all of them. He's an American hero. Flat out American hero. Because he's a man that knows who he is and owns his authority. Virginia says, anyone can follow somebody, but it takes real courage to create your own path by educating yourself on the truth. Truth is so important. I'm not done talking about the mail. But I think I am done talking about the post-paid mail. I'm confused on this Metroplex, because in that Metroplex is penned writing. All right, and I can't quite read all of it. But the top line is first class, and I think this is all one statement: non-domestic, BK period, 2 statutes at large, Chapter 71, Section 23, 37th Congress session, something. Now, I don't know that is that would be needed. And this Metroplex, Joe, did you put that on, or did the Post put that on? Are you still here, Joe? Who put the Metroplex on the mailer here, Joe? Was that you or was that the Post? Because right now I'm beginning to think it was the Post that put it there, because as we discussed it. Okay, Joe says the Post put it there. All right. So the Metroplex, the Post put that Metroplex right here. You see this? This grade in, and you can see. So I put my finger here. Right there, Metroplex. You can see that kind of grayed out. That Metroplex was put over the statement. And the statement is referring to statutes. Statute. And the Metroplex canceled the statement. It did not cancel the stamp. So this is thought-provoking, part of the learning curve, and the minds that are working on this are working on this. So I'll be back. I will be back with more. All right. I think that's it for postpaid. Now, what came in the box was pre-sort U.S. postage paid permit number 520, valued from zip code 55317, and the return address and the to address are, I think they're okay. I think that their locations are suitable. Maybe the to address needs to be a little bit more to the right. Yet, now this is just some of the stuff that was in there. All right, there was a lot of junk. There's a few other pieces of mail that. From the Kalkaska County Treasurer, you can see what they did there. Right, you see where the window is right below the. I'm gonna do this. There's two of them from the treasurer. I'm not holding that. There you can see the return address and the to address are right there together. By the Styles manual, but their manual, I believe that's fraud. Now, interestingly, again, look at this Franken. Look at that Franken. It's red. That's federal Franken, and it's canceled. Why is the federal Franken canceled? Why is the Kalkaska County Treasurer using a federal Franken? And why does a Traverse City a Post cancel the Franken? We're working on it. United States Department of Justice, Drug Enforcement Administration, operating outside their jurisdiction. Look at their red federal postal Franken. It's not canceled. Why? We're working on it. All right? We're working on it. But virtually everything here, all of it, every bit of it has the return address and the to address on the left-hand side. It would appear that's mail fraud. I think you should own your authority, people. There's more mail fraud. Anything that has that all caps name, your name bastardized, your name corporatized, your name used to entrap you through corruption and tyranny and oppression. It's all human trafficking. Okay? I think we could say, forget the fraud of the birth certificate, the constructive fraud of everything on top that was done after that birth certificate, the mail fraud, anytime that all caps name is put through the mail, whether it's Fidelity, Social Security, your bank account, the courts that aren't courts. That's all human trafficking, people. Oh, did your eyes go bing? Human trafficking. When are you going to get pissed off enough to take action? Have you got the balls? Have you got the cojones? Have you got the sand to facilitate a post-paid mailer? Have you got the sand to create that Americans Notice of Liability and know that you own your authority, that your rights are unalienable, unalienable, that they were once constitutionally protected? You facilitate that Americans Notice of Liability. Once you establish yourself as sovereign, put that a copy of that on the back side of your Americans Notice of Liability. And down there in that bottom right-hand corner, use that $1 backed by gold stamp. Use quantum autograph and your thumbprint. Cancel that stamp, seal that document. You're going to capture the last part of your last name. You're going to capture the stamp and the document. That's how you do it. Anybody got any questions for me? I'll entertain any question as long as it's reasonable, in line. Yes, that is toxic water. It might be toxic coffee too. I'm thinking I want to start getting unground coffee and grind it myself. So, because with the ground stuff, you don't know what kind of ingredients are in there. All right. That was a drum roll. Joe says no last name, family name. All right. Thank you, Joe. Everybody, nobody was more dumbed down than me. Nobody. I was dumbed down as good as anybody can be dumbed down. As I'm communicating through this system here, please comprehend and give consideration to the fact that until further notice, I will be talking in babble. I will make mistakes. I listened to one of my videos the other day. I either said US or USA, and I should have said the other. I made a mistake. I make mistakes. Fortunately, these mistakes aren't devastating. However, if I need to have my hand slapped, I need to be power slapped because I'm being a flipping idiot. Well, bring it to my attention and I'll take care of business. Sea whale. Hello, sea whale. Use a water filter. Is that Einstein? The water filters are not removing forever chemicals. They're not removing total dissolved solids. I don't know that there is a water filter on the market. If you're not aware of the environmental court and Thomas D. Murphy, who's deceased now, and his technology, his patented technology that ultimately destroyed his life because of gang stalking from the likes of EPA and all their cronies, the bar and the whole 9 yards, right? He developed a way to remove all toxins at the source and provide clean, pure, healthy, potable water. Now, the most of your well water is toxified as well. And where we can get good water is primary water. It's like 600 to 800 feet down. It's produced by steam. Steam purifies it, right? No bacteria, no fungus, no nothing's living in this water. It's being produced by steam. In the process, it's picking up the minerals. Good, healthy water. All we got to do is drill for it, people. But they've been hiding it from us. With free energy, we can desalinate oceans and we can turn deserts into abundant, green, producing fields. Across the pond in a university, they recently developed a way to remove forever chemicals. So we're on our way. Oh, my glasses are on top of my head. Virginia says, right, we don't know what kind of ingredients and also the state of mind of the person handling it. People seem to forget that energy is transferable. I always aim to do the most I can on my own. Reverse osmosis works okay. Home Depot, $300. Even the reverse osmosis is not it's not getting the job done the way you want it done. And distilled water is destroyed water. Microwaved water is destroyed water. So I don't know what the answer is, folks, but how did we get on water? Must have been talking about the environmental court. How did we get on the environmental court? Like I said, got so much spinning around here, and I've covered the main. Oh, drum roll, bombshell. Maybe this is tinfoil hat stuff. Maybe. Or maybe is pure genius. So you know, I have the most intelligent viewers. And so most of you are going to be up to speed on um, continuity of government and devolution and reconstitution and one other martial law. That 17th letter, the 17th letter drops, and the phrase has been repeated over and over and over and over and over. The first arrest will shock the world. Could that day be tomorrow? Could it be tomorrow? I'm thinking if somebody wanted to wager $1 with me, I'd wager $1. I would. I wager $1 that is going to happen tomorrow. But that is it's almost too much pie in the sky for all of us who've been waiting so long. Ethan, what the hell are you talking about? I'm getting to it. All right. So the T-Man. Nobody ever said this guy was a saint. He's told us he used to be one of them, or he used to be part of them, or I'm not quoting, I'm paraphrasing. He said he's giving the power back to the people. He said we caught them all. Now, I gotta agree with DJ that everything the man said he would do, he did, and more. Why? Every day I watched him throw a monkey wrench into that system. Every day he's making enemies, powerful, powerful enemies. Why? What if he was the first arrest? Now, by all appearances, all indications are that the military cleaned house, still cleaning house, picked T-Man. How did that happen? Could it be? See, he was one of them. He told us that. I was once one of them. I was once part of that. Right? I mean, paraphrasing again. In Babel. What if the first arrest is Trump? T-Man. Tomorrow, the indictments are unsealed. What if it was something like, well, boy, we got you. Oh, we got you by the short hairs. So, and then what? What would he be facing? Life in prison? Um, maybe a rope, um, target practice, something, right? And they offer a plea deal. We've been hearing a lot about the plea deal thing from the truthers, the influencers. how they get their no-tell intel, no-tell. Intel means no-tell. How they get their intelligence or what they're bringing you, I don't know. But I know we've been hearing a lot about plea deals. What if that first arrest is that? Would that shock the world? All these people idolizing him. All these people thinking they need the T-Man back in office to fix this fucked up mess. Ain't no one man can fix up this fucked up mess, people. Not in my humble opinion. Not in my humble opinion. It's also, if you follow in the quantum world, Chief says, now this is at least secondhand, okay? Can't say I heard Chief say it, but my source is reliable enough that I'll come out here and say it. That secondhand information, unverified, but high probability. Chief says Trump's contract's up in June. 1 + 1, ONE plus ONE equals TWO. Add it up. I don't know. Man, I would so love to be right on this one. At any rate, anybody got a question or a comment, let her rip. Moonbag says he knows the game for sure. And Seawell says algae growing filters. Yeah, there was something about living organisms in Tom's process of purifying the water. So at any rate, good things are coming, and the more you people own your authority, look, asking for money is really not an easy thing, and I don't have to ask for money anymore. I have stabilized, yet I can ask for money for those others that need it, and you're not going to think less of me. And I could ask 5-6 times during this video, and you wouldn't think less of me. But I have the most intelligent audience in the world, and for those of you that stuck around, you're serious. I know you're serious. And if you have a buck to spare today, tomorrow, next week, or next month, think about Keith. His YouTube channel is Il Piro on YouTube. Think about Josh Eddy. His YouTube channel is One of the People. These men are American heroes, and they deserve to be supported. Not like these flakes. Hold the line, hold the wine, buy me a motorhome, come to my freedom rally where I'll further enslave you with my bullshit. People, wake the fuck up. Pay attention to who the hell you're following. And get to the point where you don't got to follow anybody because you are the leader. Because you own your authority, because you know who you are. All right, everybody. I love you. Keith, thank you. Joe, thank you. Josh, thank you. Everybody that showed up in the chat, thank you. Everybody that's watching, thank you. And much love. Own your authority, people. Don't fall on the sword. I'll be back with more. I will.